Okay guys, so I just wanted to wish you a happy new year. Thank you so much for being here on the channel, for the support and for the love. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the lovely comments, the suggestions. Like when I pulled my back, you guys had my back with all your amazing, suggestions and things that, I can try and things that worked for people that So I really appreciate all those little things because we're a community and we are here to help each other. So I would really like you guys to stick around for the new year, new recipes, new healthy goals. And if you have any suggestions for any upcoming videos, drop them in the comments below, and that way I can start working on those videos. So I'm wishing you guys a healthy and happy new year. This is going to be a wonderful year ahead. We are going to see a lot of changes, I feel like, in our new year, and we are going to have a lot of opportunities to make a lot of wonderful changes. And I'm not saying it's going to be all perfect, because it definitely won't, but it's really going to push us to make, a lot of big choices, and it's going to benefit us in the end. So we just have to have faith. We have to work at it and start manifesting those dreams into reality. Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. This is probably going to be our last 12 days of Christmas video since the new year is already approaching. Thanks so much for sticking around. And in this video, I'm just showing you guys, I decided that I was going to prep some oats, throw them in the oven, bake them, and that way the next day I would have everything made and ready and I would not have to fuss about breakfast. I'm just trying to make things easier since I've had a lot of appointments and things to go to last minute. I decided that it's better to prep because then I'm going to be tempted to eat something else, and that never ends well because I just bloat and I don't do well. So it's better to just prepare. So I'm throwing in some oats. I do have this recipe. I do have a video online. Can't remember which one it is, but if I find it, I will link it. So usually I just totally wing things. You guys know that about me. Just use your own judgment, and you know how much of things you like, and it's gonna work out. So I have like about 2.5 cups of oats. I threw in 2 teaspoons of chia and a whole whack of cinnamon. So I'm just throwing that in a baking dish. It's an 8x8 baking dish. That's what I have, but you can throw it in literally anything and it will bake up just fine. So sometimes I'll throw in protein powder. I'm adding half of a scoop because I'm not a huge protein powder person. It's not my favorite. I don't like the chalkiness. Again, my stomach doesn't do well with most protein powders. There's only a few out there that I actually can have. And also, I don't want to rely on protein powder to get my protein, so I'd rather get it through other sources. But I'm adding it in for flavor. Literally, that's the only reason. I'm not worried about my protein intake whatsoever. I'm just throwing it in for extra flavor. It's vanilla. It'll be fine. But you don't want to add too much because then your bake will get a little bit chalky. It'll get kind of weird. So don't put more than half of a scoop. It's just there for flavoring. And it's optional. You definitely do not need to put it in. So any fruit will do for these bakes. I do it with literally every kind of fruit, fresh or frozen, and it all works out perfectly. On this day, I had some frozen peaches, and so that is what I'm using. So sometimes I will mix 2 fruits. It really depends on what I have in the freezer and what I also have that's fresh that needs to be used up, because this is a great recipe to help with food waste. If you have some fruits, some apples that are already on their way out, you can definitely save the apples by throwing them in something like this, and it will taste delicious. Apples are 10 out of 10. So I'm just throwing in 3 cups of my plant-based milk. I just used a vanilla almond because that's what I had, but I do use unsweetened and it still works out perfect because the fruit is going to definitely sweeten everything up really nicely. And if you add any maple syrup or agave, that will further sweeten it. So I like to sprinkle some cinnamon on top as well because I just love cinnamon in all of my fruit bakes. So really it's up to you if you want to put it in. If you don't put it in. You can also put nutmeg. That would be a nice addition to this as well. So I'm using 3 cups of the plant-based milk, but I want to just let you know that you might be able to get away with 2.5 cups because I found mine a little bit too watery, to be honest. So it really depends on what type of oat you're using. That will determine how much milk you need, but again, just eyeball it. I'm using agave because I ran out of maple syrup. Maple syrup is my favorite to drizzle on top, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use my agave. Since I have it in bulk, I do have to use it up, so I've been using it here and there in different recipes. So that's it. It's ready to go into the oven, and it depends. Sometimes I will cook it at a lower temperature, 325, if I want to leave it in the oven a little bit longer, because you're going to have to put it in for about 45 minutes, I would say, maybe even 50 minutes, because you want all the milk or most of the milk to kind of absorb. If you want, you could cook it on a higher temperature. Sometimes if I want to cook my bake a lot faster, I'll put it at 350 and I will bake it for like 30 minutes or so. It really depends on how much time you have. Both ways it will work out. It really depends on how much time you have on your hands. I tend to like to cook it at a lower temperature at 325 and let it cook longer because I go about my day, do my chores and whatnot. Or I make it the night before like I did for this one, and then it's already ready the next day. So the next day I just scooped it out into a bowl and heated it up, and it was perfect. If you wanted to, you can drizzle a little bit more agave or maple syrup on top to add in some extra sweetness, but I thought that it was enough just the way it was because I had already drizzled some the night before. And that is it. Breakfast is ready, and then you can go about your day. So mid-afternoon for something to do, because honestly the rain has been just crazy and constant. We just went to Thrive, and it's an organic kitchen and cafe, and yeah, it's in Toronto and it's been around for a long time, and they always have some really delicious desserts. They have a lot of yummy breakfasts. That is my favorite, to go there for breakfast. And I just had a cashew cookie and my turmeric latte. It was delicious, and hung out there for a little while. It's a really cute place. So for dinner, I wanted something hearty and cozy, so I decided to make a bean and lentil chili. Super easy. I just, had some cans of lentils, and I also used dry lentils in this, and then just some beans. I have white kidney beans, and I also put chickpeas in here, so that was delicious. And yeah, just threw it in the Instant Pot. Lentils don't really like the Instant Pot, to be honest. They always go to the bottom and stick, but I was able to cook it for enough minutes that it's just perfect. You kind of just have to maneuver it. You have to make sure that you at least try to keep most of the lentils right on top, and do not mix it through. Just put them right on top and then set your Instant Pot and let it do its thing, and slowly they're going to sink slowly. And yeah, and that way you don't get that burn signal from your Instant Pot. But regardless, you just give it a mix. It's not burning even if it does happen, and then just set it for a couple more minutes and it'll be fine. And my chili was delicious. It turned out great. Nice and cozy and delicious on a winter day. You guys saw that I made that delicious chili. So I didn't have a ton of veggies to throw in, but normally I would add more veggies. So I decided to just have a side salad to go with it, and that way I'm getting enough veggies in. But it's totally up to you. If you want to add veggies into the stew, go for it. But really all I did was throw in a can of white kidney beans, a can of chickpeas, a can of lentils, and then I also threw in like about a cup of the dry red lentils, and those ones I just layered on the top. That way it doesn't completely burn, because the Instant Pot doesn't like having the lentils, like I had said. What I do is I layer it on the top, and then slowly they kind of like sink, and they will cook properly. So yeah, and then I just have a can of tomato sauce, just plain, no oil and very low in sodium, and I just threw that in, and then some spices. That's it. Sometimes I'll put in some bouillon if I want some extra flavor. I didn't even do that, and it turned out perfect, delicious. Have some veggies on the side and your meal is good to go. This is also really good for meal prep, so you can divide it and throw it into the fridge, and that way you have it anytime you need it. It's already made and perfect. It's also really good to freeze. You can definitely freeze it if you have the freezer space. Go ahead and freeze it because it will last. So the oats I've made many times in different ways. Sometimes I add protein powder, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I put chia, sometimes I put hemp hearts. I kind of just wing things. You guys know that about me. I just add in whatever I have available. Like I can link the Portugal video where I eat that a lot, and I do add protein powder just because I'm out and about so much when I'm there at the house that I do need the extra little bit of protein. But on a normal basis here, I'm not that active. I don't really need it, and I don't prefer to put it in. So it really depends on what, again, I have available, what I need to use up. So if I do have an open protein powder and I know that I need to use it, I'll throw it in a few little recipes. I'd rather do that than to drink it. So yeah, really customizable. If you are not worried about your fat intake, you could always put nuts and seeds on top of your bake. That would be really nice as well, but I don't put that in. But yeah, I mean, it's just such a simple thing. So when you're talking about meals that are high protein and high fiber, the oat bake is going to really help you. It's going to help you feel really full. It's going to be really high in fiber, and oats are just your friend when you want to make something hearty. So yeah, definitely that is something that can be a staple in many people's diets, because it's just so easy and really filling. And that's really what we're looking for, to stay full so that we're not munching on not so good things. So when I went to Thrive Organic Kitchen and Cafe, I really like it there, but some of the stuff does contain oil. So it's a treat, or it has like a nut butter. Like I had the cashew cookie. I don't normally have any nut butters, just because I try to eliminate that, and I can't have peanut butter, so I just don't have it. It's like a rare occasion. So that's the rare occasion. I'll go out and I'll grab like a cashew cookie, delicious, I'll have it. I had my turmeric latte. They do make matcha as well, but I like my matcha better. So I will get turmeric there, but I won't get the matcha. Not that it's bad, it's just mine is better. So that's what I do. And yeah, just it's nice to kind of head out because we've had so much rain. It has been super crazy rainy that I don't remember the last time we had sun. Like, I don't remember. So yeah, it's been kind of dreary. So, you know, going to a little cafe like that is just a little outing. You get out and you don't spend a ton of money. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for the support on the channel, and let me know what you would like to see for the upcoming year as far as videos go, and I will get working on those. So health, joy, and positive vibes to each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video in the new year.